Everybody, welcome to Tig's Bits. Tonight we are brainstorming. We've been chatting over the weekend in our little group text and about, some of the most important matters there is about the show, and we feel that we need to go ahead and set the tone early this season. For instance, what are we going to call you guys, the loyal listeners and the followers of the show? We have some thoughts, and we want you to chime in with us too. So look, with all of that said and without any further ado, welcome back the man with the voice, the legend himself, Blossy, the one-man posse.
Woo! Woo! Just saw Ric Flair over there watching that Bucks game off to the side. They were interviewing Rick there. That's about to get fired up here in a minute. Man, good to be in here. Tiggs, man, it's funny. You sent me something the other day, and we have crept up, and on YouTube now we have 500 listeners on YouTube.
That's wild.
It is awesome, dude. Thinking about where this thing started, kind of where we are, and the growth rate that we're on right now, and looking, over at X, we're creeping up on 2,000.
Yeah,
so it's cool, but it did get us to thinking, like, oh man, like what do we do? Because I find myself, you sit here. And so let's talk, say something about TigsBitsNation or whoever. It's like, what are we going to call our listeners? These avid listeners. We've got a few, man. And it's like, I got to give them an identity, and I want them to help with that as well. So we were like, man, we got to brainstorm some here. And like, I figured we'd hop on here. JR is not here. He could jump in at any moment.
He may jump in.
He is elbow deep in some things. So, he's busy and he's got to hit the road, I think, in the next tomorrow or something. I don't know. His schedule's so crazy, but maybe he'll join us.
Stops. He never freaking stops, man.
Yeah.
One minute he's shooting us a text or a picture from behind a drum kit on some damn stage, and God knows where, just backstage somewhere awesome. And then the next thing you know, he's like, "Boys, I'm coming in, but I'm rolling in a little hot. I've been laying tile all day." You
never know with that guy, man.
I love it, man.
Never know. I mean, him and John Party may be out somewhere right now partying, I mean, you just never know with that possible. Cat.
That's right. And with that,
ever can tell.
With that also means that, who knows, one of these nights we may be just doing one of these, and then damn, he just chimes in live, and the next thing you know, we've got like Hank Jr. on here or something. I mean, you never know with the handler. That's the fun of it. But yeah, man, I think it's a very good point. And before we start to dive into that, I want to say hello, Paul. Paul is in the house. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for showing up.
Paul.
He says that you all are my friends, and he appreciates us. We appreciate you too, man. Thanks for always coming in. I knew you would love Hank, Paul. I knew you'd love Hank. I doubt that we ever have Hank on this show, or if Hank's ever on any podcast of any kind. He may have been. I don't know. But yeah, look, we want to thank everybody. Don't forget to like this. I see we have a few likes already happening out there. Don't forget to like it if you're watching or listening to this on Twitter. Retweet it. If you're watching this on Facebook, share it, write a post. And look, even if after the fact you're hearing this, share it. Share it wherever you're at. If you like our show, or if you like some of the old shows, you thought they were funny, you thought it had some good content in it, whatever it is, post it, man. Share it. Help us to grow the show. And well, yeah. Oh, look, man, my buddy old James Grizzle has come in. He says,
Grizzle for shizzle coming up in here. I like it.
Grizzle, I would love to go fishing. Not right now, though, my friend. Not right now, but it's
it's so crazy the calm before the storm, as they say. Like, it was such a beautiful day today. Absolutely gorgeous. We just had a little flag football practice. What's up? And, man, I can't believe what we're in store for the next couple of days. It's going to be absolutely insane. So,
dude, it's so cold, man. It's so cold. I'm in Baton Rouge.
Is it cold already? So that front line's already hit you, right?
It's cold.
Okay, yeah. See, I was out there in short sleeve shirts, and kids were out there with shorts on. It was 65 degrees at practice an hour ago.
Oh wow, it's 35.
Yeah.
I just looked
insane.
at my watch and said it was 30. It was 36 about 15 minutes ago before I walked.
That's crazy.
It was starting to drizzle. I think I may have heard a little bit of sleet falling on the top of my wife's car. So yeah, it's starting to get icy. I know in North Louisiana, It's starting to get a little icy up there. So look, if y'all are out there in the chat, it's cold. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. What's the weather doing where you're at? Is there snow? I know we have some listeners. Is it icy? What's happening? So y'all chime in. But while we're waiting to kind of see how they respond, Blasey, I thought it was an absolute brilliant idea because we follow the Bubba Army, of course, and shout out to all of you guys that are Bubba Army watching out there tonight. That kind of really got us moving forward with we need to start to have our own hashtag. People, Jim Rome, what's
the clones? He's got the clones.
That's right, the clones.
Yeah.
And
yeah. All these shows have got these different names for their listeners. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
and they're all a little different. Just like Alex Stein. They got the chat rats over there. He always wants to know what the chat rats are doing. And then even when you go over into music, so you got into music, ICP, they got the Juggalos, Widespread Panic, Spread Heads, Deadheads for, Grateful Dead, Parrot Heads. Like, so all these
WMSMF
shows. Yes, absolutely, dude. They got all these names for their listeners. And like, we hadn't really officially tagged a name for our listeners that we kind of say, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like telling Brandon, like, we got to kind of come up with this, you know what I mean? Maybe get a little bit of a little input, on this. I actually asked ChatGPT today to help us on this a little bit.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of us a little bit of what ChatGPT said would be some good names.
Yeah. So I typed it in the first time and it gave me like one. And I was like, no. I need to ask you again. It's kind of funny. I asked it. I was like, look, I need more options. And it was like, so it told us about the show. It recognized our show, who we are, what we talk about. And then it gave me a few ideas. So one of them was Tigsters. Kind of takes me back to, Hulk Hogan and the little Hulksters, from back in the day.
Yeah.
I was a little Hulkster, you know what I mean? So
sure.
I don't know. It's not bad. I don't know. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's terrible. I don't know. It seems a little cheesy, but maybe we need some cheesy. Oh, unknown. What up, dog?
Right. That's right.
We had Tigsters. We had Tiglets. We had
Tiglets.
It gave us Tig Wigs, which kind of branched off an idea in my mind for something else I think a little cooler. And then it gave us TigsBitsNation, which we've said before on here a few times. You know what I mean? I've said it. I know, just kind of like, because I don't really know what to say. It's TigsBitsNation. It's not.
Right.
Like you said, Bubba Love Sponge, they has Bubba Army, like, I don't
That's right.
Tigs Army, I think that'd be a little tool baggy,
It would be a douche bag ass move if we were to come in and say, hey, everybody, it's TigsBitsNation. What else could we rip off from Bubba while we're at it? No, we ain't
I'm thinking about we should change the logo. We're thinking about these the chevrons here, maybe 3 of those in there. No, we're not doing
I will
that at
say
all.
that just very briefly, everybody, Blasey and I were having a conversation one day, and I was like, we could maybe do a little bit of some marketing stuff with something kind of like that Bubba Army logo and just, Tig's Army or something. And he didn't like that idea, everybody. He was like, oh, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. We can't do that. And what the hell am I thinking? So, Brandon O'Neill, he's a Bubba Army guy. He says it's 26 in San Antonio. Good Lord. Ooh. Well, it's an odd deal because there's been freezing rain and stuff in Houston, and it's kind of moving gradually east, which is odd. Paul says it's 27 where he's at and supposed to have some light snow tomorrow. That would be. I wish it would snow, man. I wish it would snow here tonight, but it's
That'd
not.
be cool. I wish it'd snow here too. I've never ever seen it snow here in Freeport, Florida. Ever.
Yeah, I don't ever remember.
I've seen it freeze off some lake. I've seen lakes freeze over, and some ponds down on the golf course. I sent you a picture of that a while back. I had to hit a ball off the ice, instead of going in the water, it slid across the ice. But dude, you just never see. Ric Flair is doing it right now. He's up there running the whole thing. He's getting the whole crowd going. Yes, they have completely brought in Ric Flair.
Just giving him that they let him do it. Hey, I love it.
They put him on the ship. But anyway,
hey, look,
so I've never seen it snow though.
Hilton's in the house, man. He said he had no idea we were going live again tonight, but here I am.
We didn't either.
We didn't either, man. It was about 2 hours. Yeah, about 2 hours ago. We said, all right, I guess we'll go live. We were going to record something. I said, hell, let's just sit and talk and see what happens. So there we are. He says it's 22 degrees in Florine, Louisiana, where I'm from.
Now already?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I believe
God, that's crazy,
it's
man.
3 hours north of here.
I know, but that's still crazy at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah. My boy Freak says it's snowing like hell in Boone, North Carolina.
Good old Boone.
Oh, Boone. Yeah. I'm glad you're tuned in, Freak. I'm sure that at some point tonight
I bet that's an App State fan if I had to guess.
He's an LSU fan.
Oh, really? Just happens to be in Boone, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he lives in Boone. He lives in a really cool house. But he has brought, and I can't remember his name, Freak, you'll have to remind me, but I think he was the defensive coordinator for Appalachian State. They were off one weekend. They drove from Boone to Tiger Stadium, went to the game, left at the end of the game, and drove back. They didn't fly. They drove. They drove.
That's insanity.
Insanity. That's my boy Freak. That's the kind of stuff he does.
That's why he's a freak, huh?
That's right. That's exactly right. Name. That's exactly right. But yeah, look, we've Paul, he says he likes TigsBitsNation. It sounds good. Army sounds like a copy. Couldn't agree more.
I totally
with
agree.
that. So yeah, I think
we're definitely not doing that. Like I can promise you 1,000 things are going to happen on the show, and that ain't one of them. That's just us being silly.
You mentioned an idea that sprung from one of those Chat GPT words. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah, man. So
what was it?
So let's look. So I go back and I look at Tig Wigs, right? So that's some big dogs. If you're a big, like a maybe like either a bit wig or a big wig, right? A bit wig or a Tig Wig. So that's kind of the big dog, the VIP. Like that's our guy. So is that our VIP level people at some point? Do we save something like, or is that what we call just everybody follows the show? Let's listen to the bit wigs or the Tig Wigs. Think about it. Let it marinate with you a little bit. The more I've said it, like at first it was like, and I'm looking at it. I kind of like it, like it's a front runner. I mean,
there's Tig Wig.
Yeah, Tig Wig. Yeah. We got the Tig Wigs.
I mean, that's the.
Let's see what the Tig Wigs are saying. It's totally different than anybody else. Nobody else has Tig Wigs. You know, ain't nobody got Tig Wigs.
Not a soul. Not a soul has a Tig Wigs.
No, ain't no Tig Wigs running around out there.
Grizzle has the mighty Tiggers, which sounds too much like triggers, but I mean appropriate for me. Joe says Tigger bitters.
Well, Tigger bitters, yeah. I was thinking something like that too, like
I kind of like that. Yeah. That also could be a great name for we could write that down.
Yeah, I do want to write this down.
That is really good. Joe Judkins. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that last name.
Joe.
He says he's
appreciate you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Oh, Freak says Dale Jones. Dale Jones. Yeah, Dave Aranda hooked them up with the tickets to that game. Yeah, it was the UGA game. Yeah, man. Freaking freak, dude. That guy rolls. I mean, he just rolls.
That's crazy. I mean, dude, what is that? So he drove there, watched the game, then drove back.
Yeah.
There's no hotel involved in this trip at all.
There was a hotel. I think he drove. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Freak, but I do believe that you drove. Y'all got in late, came out early to the tailgate. I think that game was maybe a 2:30 game, ended, and then y'all hauled ass, if I remember correctly.
That's crazy.
They had minimal sleep. Minimal.
And that was, where was this game at?
It was in Baton Rouge. Tiger Stadium.
Dude, I mean, that's got to be like, what, 10,
like
12
hours? I think it's at 12 or 14, if I remember right. It's insane. I've done some crazy stuff like that.
I have too, but that's strong at this age, Like I drove to West Virginia to take, the boys skiing, and we drove to Chattanooga. I lost brakes. That's unbelievable. I lost brakes on a new car. Had to wake up that morning, figure that out. But anyway, I got those fixed. And then I spent the night there after about 6 hours or whatever that was there, 5 and whatever, and then drove the rest of it. It was like a 13-hour trip. And then the next night I drove 2.5, slept, drove to Birmingham, slept. I was 2 sleeps on a 13-hour trip. I'm not big into past 5 or 6 hours anymore, man. It's just not my deal. So
it'll wear you down.
You're the man.
Yeah. Freak's originally he's originally from South Florida. He wanted to know where are you in Florida? He's in Freeport, where I used to live. Freak, I know Freak, obviously. He used to be my neighbor. So
why does it say unknown? How do you know?
I don't know. I don't. It's because it's Freak, dude. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. He's somehow bypassed it. I guarantee. You know, if you chat or if you respond to somebody in a chat, you have to be logged in.
Yeah.
Not Freak. Not Freak. He's unknown. Or he may have just named his name unknown. Who knows? But yeah, dude. He says that's my name.
That's who he is.
That's who he is. He's unknown. That's awesome.
That's my name.
Oh man, I love it, dude. I love it. I think those are some good ideas, though, man. I love Tigger Bitters, Tig Wigs, Tig Wigs. I like that.
Yeah, and then I started thinking the spins on that, even like the TigsBitsNation. So you got, you could say like, let's talk to the TBN, right? That's cool too, still. And then like Tig's Bits Crew, TBC. And then one time I thought a play off of my little thing that was given to me by Michael Vittich, and somehow Alex Stein reinvigorated, was the posse thing, and the Tig's Bits Posse, the TBP. That's not bad either. And then you could, it's a slogan that ChatGPT gave me with Tig's Bits Posse, and it was like, join the posse, enjoy the bits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we're working on some things behind the scenes. Again, we're brainstorming here tonight, but we got to get a new theme song, dude. I mean, there's, the little bumper music that we have is fun, but we're working on an appropriate one.
Taylor Hicks, right?
Yeah, we're trying to get that. I mean, that has not been confirmed.
I mean, I just said it.
No.
But that's what we're going to work on. Yeah,
that's what we would love to. We would love to have Taylor contribute something. We have his harmonica as an outro in one of our shows, which was just killer. But we need,
we'd love a little,
15 to 20 more seconds of that, Taylor.
Yes, that would be good.
Hop in and make that happen. It would be incredible. We just need to do a new little intro. So that's some of the things. I mean, like we said, folks, we're going to be brainstorming and just kind of talking out loud tonight, because this is what we usually try to get together on Mondays. It seems sometimes we don't record a show. Sometimes we just sit in the room and chat like we're doing now. And then most of the time we should have just recorded those. Yeah. So here we are tonight, just recording it, letting it go.
We're just letting it roll. So let me ask you this, Tiggs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, we do, Joe. I know we do. Yeah, Joe's a big Troy guy, part of the Alumni Association down here. I got to get involved with these cats, so we will do that soon. But are there other names that you thought of outside of, because I was just doing those searches and kind of got some spins off that, some things that you thought about, some different names?
I really hadn't had much time to think about it today, but I like TigsBitsNation. Like you say, we've done that one. We've said that kind of, none of these have caught on yet, no. but they will, because we'll start using those hashtags. I mean, if you go and you look on TikTok, if you pull up TigsBits, you'll see every video that we have because of the hashtag. It's had over, 500 and almost 600,000 views with that hashtag. And we're just trying to grow. We're trying to branch out and get this thing really rocking and rolling and moving this year. We're not just going to be coming on and doing shows like this every single week. We're going to be doing some other stuff.
Yes, we are.
I mean, you want to talk a little bit more about what you did for us over the weekend, Lacey, about what you and I are potentially thinking about going and doing, if we can make it work into our schedules. And as of right now, we can. So hopefully we'll just have to see as it gets closer. But
absolutely. Yes. So I think we talked about on that last show, I mentioned that we'd applied for the media credentials down at the Senior Bowl. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. Making sure. No. What about that bass fishing trip? Oh, yeah. No. So, I applied for media credentials and got approved. And then Brantley was like, hey, man, I think I want to come down and maybe join you. And I'm like, dude, that would be phenomenal. And I've got a buddy of mine who lives over there at the Wemo Lounge. Daniel Brown, he didn't even know it yet, but like I think what we could do is we could stay with him, so he's got an extra bedroom and all that. Put you in, I'll sleep on the couch. I love that couch. But so we could stay there, dude. It's right, literally the stadium's less than like a mile and a half away. We could stay there for a night or something and get a couple of days in. Couple of different media sessions, but yeah, we've got access. But I wanted to add, when you said that out, so I had to email back Molly and was like, hey, Molly, I think the
story
rest of
Molly
our crew's
continues.
coming. Yeah, the story of Molly continues. The one that denied it. They denied
Molly's
us.
Heart.
And then once we were able to show her like who we were, she accepted us. Like, okay, they're not a bunch of weirdos, Not.
I don't know,
like
man.
that.
I haven't been confirmed yet, but it is Monday. It is a holiday.
You haven't been. Oh, it is a holiday. So, it absolutely is a holiday. Yeah.
So.
Yep. No, she texted me so I emailed her on Friday and said, hey, I wanted to add you and JR. Let's get everybody covered. JR's in town. We'll all come in and roll in. And she immediately, that was like 6:30 on Friday evening. She emailed me back. It was like, yeah, absolutely. She said, I saw the shorts talking about this, and she was laughing about it and thought it was funny that she saw on TikTok or whatever. She'd already seen it that day, and I thought that was great.
Wow.
So yeah, of us kind of laughing, making fun of that whole deal. But yeah, anyway, so she said just go back in. I did. I added you. I added JR. So we should be set up, man, and so that'll be fun, man. I know the group of 5 guys are going to be down there, so I definitely they'd sent something out when I posted that. So let's hook up. So hook up with those guys, dude. Eat such good food over there. I love Mobile.
Oh yeah,
we're going.
We're going to go to Saul's for one.
No, Saul's is not there.
It's not.
That's Birmingham.
Oh crap! Right.
Sorry, man. But we got the LA burger.
In Mobile.
We got the LA burger down there. You remember the LA burger?
That is true. Oh yes, I'm very fully aware of the LA burger. I brought the LA burger. That blend, once I knew what was up with that thing and had that joker, and anybody who's listening to this, if you haven't been to, what is it, Callahan's? Is that the name of the place in Mobile?
Yes.
Callahan's in Mobile have this LA burger, Lower Alabama, or if you're in Louisiana, you can call it a Louisiana burger like I do. But man, it's just hamburger meat and Conecuh sausage that's been decased, put together, and my Lord, it is.
Oh, and that slaw that they put on it too is absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's such a great hamburger. I mean, pound for pound, one of the best burgers you'll ever eat.
For sure. Yeah. There's zero doubt in that, man. Zero doubt.
It's only like one day a week that you can get the dang thing too.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's like Wednesday, exactly right. And we haven't talked yet, but I've got some ideas on some dates, so we'll see how it all works out.
Yes. For sure. And hell, I don't know why I was thinking it was in Birmingham for some reason. That was just in my head. Yeah, I have zero excuse to not come to Mobile. It's 3 hours from here, for God's sake. Okay, yeah,
that's
we're going
it,
to the
isn't
Senior
it?
Bowl. Yeah. It's like do a day trip of that.
Dude, we could even do like a little show. Like I was thinking, since we're brainstorming, and we hadn't even talked about this yet, but I was thinking Daniel's got this awesome fireplace. And dude, I mean, he like a real wood fireplace, not just some gas logs. Oh, we could put that fire going behind us. We could set up in the den. We could actually do a like from the first day. Get there one day, go do some stuff that evening. Let's do a live show.
Yeah.
From the Wemo Lounge, right there. Like from his house.
Yeah.
Get on the back porch. Throw some darts. He's got, the green egg. We'll fire that thing up. We'll just have all kind of good action going there.
I like it. I like it. I think this is a great idea. I hope that he agrees to it since we're talking about it live.
He'll agree.
Yeah.
He'll agree.
I know he's a fan
Absolutely
of the show.
Agree.
I know he's a fan of the show.
And if he's not there, he'll just leave a key for us. Everything will be fine. I promise.
Or we'll burn his house down. So
absolutely. I'll kick the door
We're coming
in.
either way.
One of the two. I'm staying at the Wemo Lounge one of those 2 nights, So.
Oh, Paul's in here. He says, Blasey, you had me at brainstorming. You've awoken the beast, he says.
Oh, Funky Paul Halinga. Oh.
Hilton says Todd Graves is a guest. Oh, man. That would be awesome, Jason. That would be awesome. Would love to have the man who started Cane's. A little funny story about him. This past summer, and we'll get into this whenever we get more into college baseball season, which isn't that long from now, and I'm fired up for it. But I'm going to talk about our trip that we had in Omaha. While we were there at the championship game, or game 2 of 3, when we were at game 2, I saw Tig Graves and my son, who is a Canes just nut. And I said, hey, look, there's Tig Graves. You go talk to him. Go tell him hi. Go tell him how much you love Canes. He was like, okay. So he went over, waited, he was talking to other people. He waited his turn, and then he sat there, talked to him for a second, was super nice to him. I thought that was
So
amazing.
Who is this cat? Is the guy that
he's the founder of Canes, Raising Canes.
Raising Canes. Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, dude.
He lives in Baton Rouge. I would love to have him on as a guest.
Dude, that would be phenomenal. Now, he's really big tied in with Barstool Sports too, right? Like somehow, they're
Canes
always somehow sponsoring.
And they're growing. They're so big, man. They're growing everywhere. They have a flagship in New York City now.
That's
I know
crazy.
They have them in Las Vegas. They're everywhere.
I remember when they were over there years ago. I'd seek them out when I'd coming into, going to New Orleans or something. I remember, so I was heading south, like there was a couple of exits early on. I'd pop in there. That would be my first meal, as much great food as there is in New Orleans, like I'm going to get some of this Raising Cane's chicken first and then ease on into all the other good stuff and all the other targets I have. But that was definitely on the list. That's awesome. Love to have him in here.
Hilton says he has an incredible story of how he started his business, and it's true. He has a TV show. I mean, there's –
Wow.
Dude is in all kinds of stuff. He's involved. All these celebrities and stuff are involved with him too, man. It would be just absolutely killer to have him on. Paul
if he's wondering if he can come on here, he's more than welcome. Just
please,
yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely have
Graves,
him on. So yeah,
we would love to have you on Tigs Bits. It would be a thrill and an honor. Talk a little football. Talk a little Canes, talk a little biz, and let's do it. Let's just do it, man. That would be fun. Paul says he needs to start listening to this cast from the beginning. I'm sure to have some killer ideas. And he says to bring your ass to Bama.
Yeah, he's the music director. Does a lot of the music stuff over at the Floribama.
Okay.
Paul does. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, he works with our buddy BJ, who's the general manager of the Floribama. So they work together there and run that incredible operation known as the
I've
Floribama.
heard y'all. Now I know who the Paul is. I've heard y'all mention his name. It makes sense. But yeah, man, to get Tig Graves on would be incredible. Tiffany Gomez, we've reached out to her. We're waiting on a response. Tiff, I know you've been busy with Hank at Barstool.
Did you see Hank yesterday?
I did. I saw he had to dive,
insanity.
Had to jump into the pool, and then he
went through the wall.
Yeah, he went through the wall trying to go up the stairs, fell down.
Have you seen something's hurting on that guy today? He has to be hurting. Knee, ankle, something.
Just the way you slip from being wet, and he was cold because all this cold air that's now here in Baton Rouge, it was up there last night. I mean, it's there now too, but it was starting. It was starting to come down.
It was like 14 degrees when he jumped into that pool.
Yeah, I think she showed there was ice in the pool or something.
Oh, gosh! And then he runs right through the wall. At least he signed the wall for
plunge.
I guess that was her house. Whose house was that? Do they say?
I don't know. I don't know.
Pretty pimp setup though, wherever it was.
It was real nice. Speaking of cold plunges, I saw a video of Stone Cold Steve Austin doing a cold plunge because of DDP. He says at the end of it, my old buddy DDP had told me to challenge me on this or whatever. And he said he did a video the first time. He couldn't take it for more than 20 seconds. He got out and I think he put it on his Instagram stories or something. And then just the other day, he did it. He did it again, and he stayed in there for 3 minutes. But he was cussing up a storm. He was not having fun at all in that first minute. And he's like, I'm fine once you get numb. That's what I wanted to hear. Somebody explain it to me like that, because I've still not done it. I know what getting cold is. I can get that, but then numb. Okay, so like when you put ice or you put your foot, I put my foot in an ice tub of water, like hurt my ankle and put it in there, and your foot will start to get numb. That's what he means, but it's your whole body. Okay, I don't know if I want to do that either, frankly. But if it'll help,
it's like, I've never gone to that level. Like I usually finish my shower with a cold shower. Right, I'll come in with warm. At the end of the shower, I start cranking it down, and I finish cold. Like I want to lock everything up. I don't want to get out sweating. Trying to get ready. So I try to lock everything up, but when it comes to the actual cold plunging, I just haven't done it yet. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've been in some ice, like with legs and knees and stuff like that. But I haven't done the full body. I don't know what it'd be like either. So. But yeah, I guess that's it.
I'm not going to question DDP at all, but I still don't know how healthy it is for you to jump from just
hot to cold
ice to then, that just sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen. But he's in the bill of health. But as soon as I do it, I'm not a professional wrestler. It never was and never will be.
Your tongue's hanging out the rest of your life.
That's exactly what would happen to me.
Welcome to TigsBits. That's what would happen to you probably. Oh.
Yeah, we may have to change the name because I couldn't pronounce it anymore.
The Wiggy Wigs. Oh, Tig Wigs. But I'm just kind of liking the Tig Wigs. At first, I thought I liked the bit wigs, but that just like people could be. It sounds like big wigs, but bit wigs.
Yeah,
it's like, what are you saying? But Tig Wigs, that's just very unique.
It is.
Anyway, I just thought about that. I looked up at the board again here. It just hit me. So speaking about the speech impediment,
the board being up there. We all know you're looking at something. That's what he's looking at, everybody. He's looking at it. He has a
I got a dry erase board that I bring down, add notes to.
The movie A Beautiful Mind? With the chalkboard and the numbers are just in there. That's what it looks like. He sent me a picture before the show. That was part of the convincing of let's just go live tonight. He sent me the billboard, and I went, well, hell, okay. I'm just going to show up then. Let's roll. I can do this. I'm not really prepared, but okay, let's go. But yeah, it's awesome. Speaking
that one didn't even full. I'll finish that. That didn't even get the full. That was about a 15-minute storm session of writing. Usually
I've seen it for other episodes.
And it just keeps going, and it's just insanity. Little sections off over here. I can just move around that thing. But yeah,
exactly.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I've seen it now. I've seen it on other episodes. Well, one thing we were going to talk about that we didn't dive into, kind of hoping JR might chime in. Doesn't look like he's going to be stopping by tonight. That's fine.
No, he texts. He's out. He's got some stuff to do with his niece. Yeah, he's got some stuff going down.
Yeah, no big deal.
Goddaughters. He's actually doing some stuff with. Yeah, you got to get gifts for JM's kids. Yep.
He better get on that.
Yeah, kind of important.
Understood. But we wanted to mention that the new Alabama head coach, after we recorded that show on Thursday, it was just Thursday that we did that. They, of course, named the head coach the very next day, which we figured they would do. But legend himself, David Ware, called it. Here's that clip.
I'm going to make a prediction.
I'm going
to say it's going to be Kalen DeBoer from Washington.
I've heard that name tossed around.
On record. Yeah. That's my call.
He called it, didn't he? He nailed it.
He did, dude.
That was probably fourth or fifth down my list that I had that I thought the way that would go. And man, not that he's not should be that. It just all these other popular names, and then suddenly he's the one that surfaced.
Well, I just
59 hours later, or whatever it was. Yeah,
I figured that it would have a tie to Alabama in some form or fashion. It would kind of be Saban's handpicked guy. None of that is true. It doesn't seem. Saban staying there in the stadium.
They got keeping an office. That's so good. That could be awful or it could be great. I don't know which one it's going to be.
One of two things. I personally, my thoughts on what's going to happen with Saban is that he will distance himself more and more and more away from the Alabama football program. Not in being disrespectful or anything like that. I think Nick Saban has always been about Nick Saban, period. He was that when he was at LSU. I don't think his loyalties are so strong to Alabama that he is going to just, be that guy who's walking around in in Bryant-Denny Stadium with a cane in 20 years, telling them young whippersnappers to get it. And that ain't him. He's going to be in Florida somewhere or wherever Miss Terry wants to be. I don't think it'll be in Tuscaloosa, but regardless, the next 2 or 3 years are going to be interesting having Nick Saban around, who's the GOAT of GOATs. It would be like taking over the position for Michael Jordan with the Bulls. It's a no-win
And him just
position.
standing there every day looking at you.
Yeah, but he didn't leave. He's there.
Still there. Still
tough
there.
Deal.
It could be tough. It could be great. It could be terrible. Like, I don't know what it's going to be. It could be like maybe he is trying to define this as like, let me show you how this is supposed to be done as well. I'm going to help and make sure, because he's not going to be like the bully. He's not going to be. He didn't want them to like not have success. And just to show you, see what I did. What he did. He didn't need that. He didn't the Belichick, Tom Brady stuff going down. None of that. Which one was it? No, there's no question who it was. It was him. Yeah. So I don't know, man. But again, that other guy, DeBoer may be going like, dude, can you just, I love you. You're awesome, but can you please move on? Like, like this is too much for me,
Because it's kind of got to be that deal, whoever the new coach is, like with LSU, for instance, they have, whenever Brian Kelly came in, he cleaned house. He kept 2 people, I think, something like that. Didn't keep very many. And you got to do that. You've got to do that. And some are starting to come back that you bring back.
Yeah.
It should have never
been.
Like, should have never gone. So,
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It'd be like us with our start and having the king of radio, Bubba the Love Sponge, not on our show, but in the corner over here just staring at us as we're doing our show the entire time and judging everything we're doing as we're doing it live. It might be too much, man,
yeah, I mean, it would be. And the pressure's already going to be big enough at Alabama to begin with.
Oh, my God.
Like, they expect him to win next season. I promise you. Are they going to be happy if they go 9-3 this coming year? Hell no. No. So, and they may.
You never know.
Or they may not.
They may go 12-0.
Possibly.
I mean, you never know. They may go 8-4. Like you never know. I just saw they lost their best receiver to Texas. Yeah. Is that right? Is that a legitimate story?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, to go over there. I thought that was kind of weird, and he left 100% because he said of Nick Saban. I don't know, whatever.
I think that's going to continue to happen there.
Everywhere too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah. There's just change. There's going to be change there. He'll bring in some of his guys and stuff like that too. That's just the way the game is now. You're basically a free agent if you're made it to a college roster. You're in a sense you're playing to be a free agent.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Hilton thought that it would have been Kiffin.
I did too. I actually thought Kiffin as well. I really thought Kiffin. Like he was.
I did too. I thought he was going to come in there at the final hour and be him. Freak says it's not like he has to rebuild. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Not at all.
He's going to have the moniker, though, of if they win in the first year or two, that they won with Saban's players. What has he done? That is going to happen. I've seen it happen here in Baton Rouge.
Absolutely.
That'll definitely happen in Tuscaloosa.
But it's nice it's nice when they're saying that. That means you're doing something right on the coaching side.
That's right.
Regardless if it's your players or his players, at least you're getting that done. Now, then you have to prove yourself another year or two down the road to see where. But those recruiting things usually don't lie. It's weird though to look at Dabo, man, and like his kind of, I won't say his fall, but like from where he was. I mean, he was in that zone that Kirby Smart's in right now. Like, competing against Saban. And then suddenly it's just like everything changed. And dude, I mean, like that could happen to Kirby Smart. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing that – I mean, keep going on the Saban thing. We've already talked about it. But, for 17 years, he sustained that thing, though. Like, those windows – I never thought Dabo would fall down like he's fallen down a little bit. It's kind of was baffling. So I see why he didn't become the choice. I think it was just simply because you've shown you can't sustain that.
Well, he's been against the NIL deal so much. Dabo's been very outspoken about NIL, and – if you're against it, yeah, I mean, whatever your feelings are, it doesn't matter. That's what the game is right now. You have to play what the game is right now, and I think that's ultimately probably what killed Dabo. Paul says he's not surprised by the Alabama choice. I'm not when it comes to he was a top-notch, apparently available, which like he said that there wasn't any other job he would have ever left Washington for besides Alabama, and I believe that.
Yeah.
Because that's a big job. I mean, that is the biggest job, but man, that's tough to have to freaking follow Nick Saban. I mean, it's tough.
It is. It is. So wish him the best there. That's gonna be tough for anybody. I don't care who got it.
That's right. That's right. Patrick McGuire says Tiggs is just missing some Pels gear tonight.
You about got the State Louisiana covered, don't you?
Damn right I do. And there's a Pels hat behind me. It just you can't see it on camera right now. Probably wear the Pels hat in the next show.
I got a Troy shirt on. It's just sitting a little low tonight. I figured I'd come in with Bubba Army after they had BARP this past weekend, man. And, saw some got a few updates. That thing's so it's
what is it? So what is the BARP stands for the Bubba Army
Royalty Party.
Royalty Party, yeah.
So there's multiple things that go down that night. Those that get rings. You get don the rings, and then there's some that go into the Hall of Fame. And so there's these ceremonies that take place. There's the big parties that take place. I mean, this thing goes on for like 2 or 3 days. There's like a Friday night situation, and then Saturday nights all the awards are given out. I mean, this is a very well orchestrated event. And but there's you don't get a lot of footage of it. I saw Shannon Burke. He's another DJ
Shondo,
jock. Shando. And down there. He's part of the You see him on X.
He follows the show. I saw some of his stuff and hello Bubba Army. There's some folks out there that I know are listening or will watch this after the fact. That I saw some of y'all's pictures too on Instagram and all around. Not a lot. I didn't see a whole lot of stuff. I saw the national anthem played by what's his name?
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, the lawyer, Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan did that?
Yeah.
No, the lawyer. No, that's not Dan. No. That's his brother Jay.
His brother?
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, the lawyer. If you said lawyer he's a lawyer and a surgeon. So, but I think
it was
his brother's a lawyer.
I think it was the lawyer. Anyhow,
okay, yeah. He's a lawyer first. Dan's a plastic surgeon and lawyer. But yeah. And their dad was the team doctor for the Bucks for years.
Oh wow.
There. So yeah, they're very rooted in the whole Tampa community and all. So.
Yeah. They opened up with the national anthem. I won't spoil it, but if you go check that out, the comments are hilarious. People were hating on his rendition of the national. It was great, dude. I mean, it's obvious he spent some time to learn it. Was it as good as Jimi Hendrix? Hell no, but what is?
I agree. I haven't seen that, man. I got to check that out. So
Grizzle says that he was hoping that Alabama would have been silly enough to get Dumbo Fisher. They weren't that dumb.
No.
Not at all.
That dude's been whatever. I don't keep going. I thought he's been a fraud for years, man. I've never been convinced on that
guy. No. It was interesting though. I did see him on Pardon My Take last week. I think it was last week where he visited with him. He was just chilling. It was an interesting conversation because he doesn't care. He's making all that money in the world and not even having to coach. But it definitely sounded like Jimbo wants to coach again. Jimbo's going to get back in the game, and he's not done. But I don't think that they would have ever even let him land in freaking Tuscaloosa if they would have named Jimbo. No way, man. No way.
No.
Just no way.
No. 0%.
No.
Yeah.
And speaking of brainstorming, we need to have Tulane, your former coach John Sumrall is doing very well with NIL and the transfer portal at Tulane. We need to have Maddie Haddock. Is that how you pronounce her last name? I believe is how you say it. I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe so.
But she's the reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to get her in here. Yeah.
Haddock, I believe.
Yeah,
Haddock.
John did such a great job, at Troy when he did that, dude, managing. I call it just portal management, at the time.
Yeah.
Like watching him work that thing, it's like his skill set there is so good. He got there, he secured that team. Like nobody left virtually, like maybe one person. It's like how he locked everything up and then was able to just work that thing beautifully. He's really good. That's a really good skill set of his to work, especially with a minimal NIL. Now he's at the NIL position that he's at Tulane is just being honest, it's much better than where Troy is right now. Troy, we're working in a really good direction with the collective that they have in place that's starting to build, but it's just behind, Tulane.
Right.
So, yeah, kudos to him. But yeah, would love to get her on here. That would be great. We need to reach out and let's do that ASAP.
Yeah, definitely. Well, man, look, let's talk a little bit of football for a second and kind of start to wrap this up. We're not going to stay on too long tonight, but did you have a chance to see any of the NFL playoffs this weekend?
Yeah, man, I did.
Kind of ho-hum, bro.
It's so crazy. It was so bizarre. It was like,
one really good game.
Like, who was ready and who showed up? Dallas just like, really? Don't get me wrong. I know it's becoming kind of a running joke. So I grew up a Cowboys fan, man, back in the era when, coming off of like Tom Landry and you had Danny White, Randy White, and all those guys playing. So I like the Cowboys. It's not like I'm just there,
man,
I'm going to lose any sleep. But like, I still like to see them do well. And I thought, I was even tricked into thinking they were going to end up doing something really good in this play. I didn't think they were going to win the Super Bowl, but like make a decent playoff run. But dude, just show up and just look like total garbage. I don't know, man. It's unbelievable. Like they're just, Dak Prescott, looked like Tony Romo 2.0. It's like whoever's there, it's just what happens. They just get there and just choke.
I'm
it's
pulling
crazy.
For Dak.
I like Dak as a person.
I love him. He's a Louisiana boy. I want him to do well, but man, they can't get it done in the playoffs.
It's like a curse,
Sure. Yeah, it's something. It's like they're paying the price for everything they did in the 90s.
Running off Jimmy Johnson, and since then it's just been some kind of a curse. Even though they brought him back in the Ring of Honor, and I thought that would break the curse like the GOAT up there, but like, dang it, didn't.
If you really got to dig into it, if we're going to go there, you got to get to win. I think the curse could be, even though they sold their soul to get those Super Bowl trophies, Jerry Jones did after he sold his soul and kicked Tom Landry out. There's still people that my grandparents, they were huge Dallas Cowboy fans. As soon as that happened, they weren't on that ride. Now, where I grew up, where my good friend here, Daryl Brandon, who's watching from North Carolina, came in, a lot of Cowboy fans, more so than Saints fans. Now, I'm a Saints fan, but I like the Cowboys too because it's just I saw them on TV. I never was a Cowboy hater, never have been. I'm just not. But I think they sold their soul to get rid of Tom Landry and win those Super Bowls. And then now it is. I saw a stat today. The Texans, I can't remember the exact number, but the Texans have been in the league, I think, since 2002, maybe. That sounds about right. And they've won 5 playoff games in that time span. And in that time span, the Dallas Cowboys have won 4. They ain't even the top in the last 20 years in the state of Texas.
And right now, like you saw Houston the other day, how good they looked. That's crazy,
Yeah.
It's wild. Like, that's Texas's team right now. Like, forget America's team.
Yeah, but I think the Packers are going to run into a hornet's nest in the 49ers. We'll see if they can.
Oh, yeah, they will. Like, but dude, I don't know. The Packers look really dang good, man.
They keep getting
round of applause. They absolutely just showed up. Just getting after it. Every single play. You know what I mean? Like, so, dude, like.
Definitely
I don't know, man.
Most impressive victory of the weekend, for sure. And then, of course, the Chiefs rolled through the Dolphins with no problem in that super cold game. But it was just kind of another ho-hummer. You know, there wasn't anything
exciting
in that one.
And I saw the tail end of, like, the Bills won, you know, like a while ago.
Bills won today. And as of now, we're recording this. If you're listening to this, we don't know we'll be done. We won't know who's going to win. But as of right now, in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 58 seconds left, the Bucks are up 10-0 on the Eagles. So
awesome. Go Bucks, baby. I'm glad Baker Mayfield's having some success there, dude. I've always liked Baker. And to see him come in, and he just seemed like he was just a patchwork guy to get him through to the next quarterback. And suddenly, here the Bucks are up in the first round of the playoffs, up 10-0 with 1:35 left in the first quarter, making a run. You know, like watching them play these last few weeks. This is a good team, and Baker Mayfield's starting to look really good. You know, like we thought he was going to look at one point, you know. I'm a fan of Baker. I like him. I think he's the guy down there, and especially if they make a run right here, it's obvious. You got to lock him up, you know.
Yeah, they could make a run. I am not pulling for Tampa. What? No way. But I don't. But in this one, I don't like the Eagles either. That's two teams that I despise. One's a bitter NFC South rival, and the other is.
Oh, there's a first down. There's a big first down. Go ahead.
Grizzle says that Tampa Bay's making the Eagles look silly right now. They are right now, but it is the NFL. Not for long. You never know.
What happened to the Eagles? Why? How did they start off so unbelievably great?
Crashing and burning, man.
So I heard a theory from some people sitting at a bar, and they said if you'll go back and look, there's so many Alabama and there's so many Georgia players on that team, star players, right, too. They said after the Alabama-Georgia game, whatever that was, November 3rd or 4th, somewhere in there, I don't know. They said if you'll look, they think they all partied that night, and then that's when the slide started on that Sunday. And it's like they've never been able to get it back together since then. And there's a full correlation there. So I was like, huh. And you look back at it, and I was like, dang, you're right, because he was showing it to me. And I was like,
or they quit playing together. They got pissed off at each other. Or, I mean.
Sometimes you just have that one bad game, and then you start looking at each other, you're pointing fingers, and it's like gets a little, your fault, not mine, you know? Kind of like.
As stupid as that sounds, that is not that outrageous, in my opinion, at all.
It happens on our show all the time. We barely can get on here and record at times, you know? Like.
It's true. It's true. It really is. No, not really. Paul says it's Miller time, Blasey. I think he noticed what you're sipping on.
It is. Yeah, I like to have a Diet Miller from time to time. You know, what I mean?
Diet Miller. That's exactly
Absolutely.
right. That's right. He's happy that he didn't have to pay extra for Peacock to watch the games this weekend. Hey, they got me. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, but I had the best thing that could come from that this weekend. So. Couple of things real quick. I got a Blackstone last week, a little 22-inch Blackstone
awesome,
grill. Yeah, my neighbors
want one.
They have
I don't
them.
Have one.
You got to get one. I mean, I've waited and waited and waited, and finally got one. But anyhow, so rocking and rolling, doing all of that, and then I made, I think, breakfast for dinner that night, and I wanted to watch that Kansas City game. So, bam, I'm going to get Peacock so I can watch it. I'll watch some WWE and I'll get a month's worth of stuff out of it. But I'm like, whatever. Well, my wife, I go in there today and she's watching something on Peacock it's Breakfast at Tiffany's. She was watching Breakfast at Tiffany's. She's like, I've been wanting to watch this for a long time. I can't watch it. I'm not paying to watch it. I'm like,
I haven't watched that forever, man. That's a great movie, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. A long time. But yeah, so. I got that Blackstone, man. And
wait, let me ask you this on Peacock before we moved on to Blackstone. I thought you could do like a free trial and cancel it and not have to pay anything.
You probably can, but I think I've already exhausted that a million times. I think
I got it.
I've made that round robin, and I don't want to keep it up with email addresses and all of that.
So
I don't know if they had a free trial this go round or not.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with Paul. We're getting to a point now where they're putting playoff games on paid apps like Amazon Prime and then, Peacock. That's definitely that's the direction that it's moving in.
It is.
It ain't going to go backwards.
Nope, it's not. It's absolutely
sucks for
not.
the consumer.
It does. It does. But as I'm sitting here watching on my iPad, though, watching this Bucks game and Monday Night Football on my ESPN app, and I have ESPN Plus. That's not getting me that. I had to do something else to get this, but still, either way, hey, yeah, they're getting you in like every direction, aren't they?
Yep, they are. I have YouTube TV.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, so I mean, man, you've got those. I don't want to dive into the. We'll save the Blackstone.
Go back to your Blackstone. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we can go back to that at a later time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we'll talk more about cooking and stuff. I'm still learning it, dude. I'm still learning the thing. But thus far, I can tell you what I've cooked on it. Bacon, my God, it's unbelievable with bacon. And I make my own homemade bacon too, with pork bellies and all that stuff. I think sometime when we do a show, I'll go into all of that. But I cooked that on there this morning for breakfast. Finally, I forgot I had a slab frozen. I thawed it out yesterday, sliced it. Oh, man. So wow. Bacon, unbelievable. Pancakes, of course, eggs, omelets. I love omelets. It's so easy to make an omelet on that sucker, man. Unbelievable. And so basically Waffle House. I've turned into Waffle House.
Yeah, it's exactly
pretty
what it
much.
is.
You know, yeah, exactly. Smothered, covered in diced hash browns. Still working on tweaking that, but after a couple of runs, and I practice this on others and talk to people and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Getting closer. I'm not there. I'm not Waffle House worthy yet, but I'm getting there. And then tonight, just before we went on the air, it took about 20 minutes to do. I made a huge pan of chicken fried or stir fried rice with chicken in it.
Dang.
Unbelievable, dude. Just unbelievable. Easy. It's so easy. And I just have the little one. I mean, my thoughts on it, if you're feeding a crew, there's 4 or 5 people in your house, step up and get the larger one, the 28 and the 36. Get one of them. But if it's just 2 or 3 of you, if you want to travel, I've got the small one, because if I want to go to Toledo Bend and go fishing or go camping somewhere, I can take it with me. Go tailgating, I can take that thing with me. It's portable, weighs like 50 pounds.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, you can buy legs for it that fold and stuff. I don't have that because I just set it on the tabletop. But man, yeah, $159. That was as of a week ago. Hopefully, it's still on sale at Costco. $159. It came with the adapter to hook to a propane tank, which that thing's normally like $30. It came with a carrying case, which that thing's like normally $30, and it came with the hood. It's got a hooded vent, which you can actually close and use it as a little bit of a grill.
Dang, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it came with that, and that thing's usually, I think, $70 or $80, and then just getting the tabletop by itself is like $150 just by itself. So all of that for $159 at Costco, I couldn't say no, man. I went in there for something else, walked by it. This was a third time's a charm. I went, okay, you got me. I'm all right. Boom, put it in the cart. Let's go.
Well, I think that's all I need too. I've got a pretty cool little rolling table deal. Like, I'm trying to set up like a few things outside of my grills that I have, and because I got a gas grill, I got a Weber, then I've got that green egg thing, and so I'd like to increase my situation though with that Blackstone, and come in.
Highly
what I do want to see you do is take those onions and stack them up and do the onion volcano.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, I want to do an onion volcano at some point as well. But that stir fry, I thought I was biting off a little more than I could chew tonight. Had like 4 chicken breasts, 2 cups of rice, or 4 cups of rice. It was 4 cups of rice. 3 or 4 eggs, and then all the vegetables. I did all of that on that 22-inch Blackstone.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing into the thing. It's 35 degrees.
And it still worked out great. Yeah.
That's what they do. That is what they do. That's the quality of a Blackstone. You damn right, Daryl. That is a pitch. That is a pitch to Blackstone.
That is a pitch.
America's Grills.
Love to have Blackstone become part of the show. Love to have Blackstone on here. We would, I mean, I think right behind you, we could set up a Blackstone, and you could have your neighbor. What's his name?
I've got plenty of room.
In there. We could have him back there grilling.
Bob.
While we do, have Bob. I don't know why I couldn't think of Bob. Yeah, have Bob back there grilling while you do the show, right over your right shoulder. I see a nice gap there between the screen and your shoulder. That Blackstone just absolutely over there wearing it out. Smash burgers. I saw Shannon Burke had the smash burgers before the Dallas game. He's a Dallas fan, unfortunately, as well. Yes. Those things look so phenomenal.
Okay, so that was the first thing I made. Fajitas was the first thing I did on it. I just had that night, but the next day smash burgers, and I love a good smash burger. I've had one in a long time. I smashed that sucker down, got that crust on it, dude. I think I sent y'all a picture of it. Maybe I didn't. It was heavenly. So yeah, dude. That is so. I love that. Can't wait to get JD Marsh back on the show and talk to him a little bit about barbecuing and stuff and that. Because there's some things dishes that you can smoke and brisket and things like that you can incorporate into tacos. And I mean, it's a griddle, dude. It's a griddle. It's like you have your own little Waffle House at your house.
Gosh, your own private Waffle House. And I have a great Waffle House in Freeport. We talked about it, I think. But, like, we have these guys in the $5 million club. Like, they cooked $5 million worth of food and wear these shirts that say it. Like, if you go into a Waffle House in Freeport, Florida, I don't care what morning it is, especially the morning shift, about 10, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. It is an absolute it is like a commercial. It is a Waffle House commercial taking place in front of you. It is perfection of a Waffle House. Oh, I don't know how they got them all here. Like they recruited.
I sure wish
they worked that NIL deal in that portal as well as anybody because they're from the north.
I know
they're
how
from the
they
west.
Got them.
They're from everywhere but here.
You just
the beach. That's it.
Yeah,
right?
You just explained it. Yeah, that's how they got them there. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the same way that I moved to Destin, Florida. I go on one weekend. I'm working. I'm selling wood. And I'm in Baton Rouge. They need a relief pitcher to come in the next day. I roll. I get up early. I drive to Destin, work. That was like on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. No, stay here over the weekend. Get your wife. We'll have her. Tell her to drive over. So my wife drives over. Then we all go to dinner, and then I'll go to the Red Bar and do all that. And then I moved to Destin the next week. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. So it's pretty easy to do.
You got courted with the finest situation there. Yeah,
I did. But then, I mean, that's how I met you, and that's how this show has moved on years later. We're all still friends, and also, I mean, it works out. That's the way it should go. Yeah, dude, we'll dive more into cooking. We're going to be talking a lot about food this year. That is something that has been on our list of what we want to talk about, just kind of trying to put those shows together, that will be entertaining and informative and something, a little bit different than maybe what you're getting everywhere else. I think that is something that we try to strive to be a little bit different, be our takes or our craziness or whatever.
Yeah.
The way we see things.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little different than everywhere else that everybody else is doing,
Just a touch.
That's right. But look, we've been going for an hour now. I don't really have a whole lot more to talk about tonight. I think we've got good thoughts on TigsBitsNation or Tig Wigs.
Or Tig Wigs.
Tiggy Bitters.
Oh, yeah. We got the Tigger Bitters. Tigger Bitters.
I haven't thrown this out. My neighbor did say, and this is something that I'm going to got to give my boy Adam Geraci some credit here.
Okay.
Tiggy Twisters.
Oh.
Not for the name of our.
I like it.
Write it down.
I know it's like, hey, if everybody's going to think stuff and like if we can get a little something without getting too crazy, I was thinking that too. How can we get those Tiggy Twisters? That's all right.
which that could be it. I mean, that could be it. Hilton says Big Tiggys. Also not terrible. Just a straight up play on what we're already thinking.
Talk to our big Tiggys. Yeah,
Let's talk to our big
hey,
Tiggys.
Chat GPT was not too far off. We're right back on this because they came up with Tig Wigs, so they had a good base idea to work off of, and we've got some good stuff going here. Tiggy Twister.
Yeah. So this.
Let's keep them coming, man. Like on social media, text. I don't wherever. Like
wherever.
I want to get. Here's the thing. We got to get this right. And like we do it once, we don't change. You can't rebrand your like the nickname of your viewers, like people that follow the show. And
you only get one shot at that.
I mean, no, that's it. So this is like I want to make sure this is like yes. So it may take a few weeks here. Oh, big Tiggys.
Yeah. We're just kind of talk it out. We're gonna let
everything.
Yes, we've voiced this and put it out into the universe.
Keep it going. Keep it rolling.
Y'all are the fans of the show. Y'all are the ones who are going to decide this. We're just here. We wanted to be involved in this little part of it. It's kind of the fun part.
Absolutely. And then
we'll be able to look
make
back
sure
one
that
day.
You and JR and myself, we all like. When we get all these things and get all these fan ideas, we all collectively agree. There's no like one of us going like, I'm telling you, it would have been better. Then you're in. I'm telling you, if we were the Tig Wigs right now, they were Tig Wigs that it should be better. What's going on here? Y'all got the bedwetters. Y'all call them bedwetters. They don't like to be called bedwetters.
He'll come in there and put that Tiggy Twister on you.
Tiggy Twister.
And I think that's a good place to end it, folks. So look, appreciate everybody chiming in tonight. Thanks all of you guys in the chat for visiting with us. Y'all share this, like it, subscribe, talk more about it. Help us to grow this thing, and we will see you guys very, very soon.